SBJ will be at the NACDA convention next week in Orlando, and then we are in Chicago for the Brand Innovation Summit. Nearly 200 brands and others will converge to talk about the latest in sponsorship and marketing. Still time to register, and I hope to see you there. And this is your morning Buzzcast for Wednesday, June 4th. I'm Abe Madkour. The Stanley Cup Final starts tonight across Turner's networks, a rematch of Panthers-Oilers in the Cup Final, and the NHL heads into the Stanley Cup Final with viewership a bit soft in the U.S., but on pace for its best postseason in Canada since 2017. We know this is influenced by the heavy presence of Canadian teams in the postseason and the relatively lack of big U.S. markets. Through the conference final, Turner's networks are down 20% compared to the coverage last year. Disney's networks are down 31% overall compared to last year. But in Canada, the league is up 20% heading into the Cup Final. So remember, last year, Florida Panthers, Edmonton Oilers, that went 7 games. We'll see how this matchup fares. But regardless, league executives know that ratings fluctuate, but the NHL can go into its Stanley Cup Final on the back of a very strong year from the business side. We'll see how the Stanley Cup Final plays out over the next couple of weeks. Also starting tonight, the Women's College World Series between Texas Tech and Texas in Oklahoma City. This is a best of 3. Game 3 would be played Friday if necessary. A leader in college sports texted me yesterday and told me I was overlooking one of the best stories in sports this week by not talking about the Women's College World Series, and they're probably right. It's been quite the story, and it's more evidence of the growing popularity of women's softball. A new champion will be crowned for the first time in 5 years because Oklahoma has won the last 4 Women's College World Series titles. It'll be historic if Texas Tech wins the championship, as this is their first. Texas Tech ace Nigeri Kennedy, a name to know. She has pitched in every game for Texas Tech during the tournament. She's 32-5 this year, an ERA of .86. After leaving Stanford last offseason, she signed an NIL deal worth more than $1 million to go to Texas Tech, and she is performing on the mound for sure. She is must-see TV. Meanwhile, to show you the interest in the Women's College World Series, UCLA, Tennessee, that was Sunday afternoon. That would have been a quarterfinal. That drew 2.2 million viewers on ABC on a Sunday. That was the best non-finals viewership game for the Women's College World Series to date. So Oklahoma City, it has so much going on this week. Add one more great thing with the Women's College World Series starting tonight, Wednesday night. Let's move on. A lot of people close to racing and motorsports love MotoGP, which of course is the global motorbike racing property. People love the speed of the event. They love the close competition of the event. They said it's amazing both live and on television. And now MotoGP has brought on a sports marketing agency, Two Circles, with the aim to grow its fan base in the U.S. and in the UK. Those are 2 of the markets that new owner, Liberty Media, which should take over MotoGP shortly, really wants to see growth in. Remember, Liberty Media took over Formula One. They're going to go by the same playbook. And I hear time and again about the potential of MotoGP and the growth potential of this property. And now Two Circles will try to push a new social media strategy, a new digital strategy, all in an effort to grow interest in MotoGP in the US and the UK, which they believe have huge untapped audiences and potential. So keep your eye on that sports property. You know, a must-read in SBJ this week. I'm getting so many notes about it, and it is a great read. It looks at the 25th anniversary of what is NBA TMBO. That is the Team Marketing and Business Operations Division. It's almost legendary across sports for being a data-driven numbers resource that helps all NBA teams. It was the brainchild of the late David Stern, who actually picked the brain of the late NFL Commissioner Pete Rozelle in starting this unit that really would transform relationships between teams and a league office. Before TMBO, NBA teams were in their own silo when it came to their business and sales, and they preferred it that way. They didn't share any information. But David Stern made them open up their books and share their data, share their ticket sales, and share details of their sponsorships with every other team. At first, not every team participated, and Stern quietly rebuked them, and sometimes not so quietly. But TMBO grew in importance and influence, and also the number of major successful executives who worked at TMBO and then went on to other top jobs in sports business is a story in itself. Again, SBJ's Tom Friend writes a great story. He breaks it all down in Sports Business Journal this week. It's the story everybody has been talking about. I'd encourage you to check it out. Moving on to swimming, after the success of its first trials held in an NFL stadium, USA Swimming is running it back. Yes, USA Swimming will return to Indianapolis and Lucas Oil Stadium for their Olympic trials in 2028. Remember, USA Swimming held the event there last year leading into the Paris Games. It was the first time trials in swimming were held in an NFL stadium, and twice they set world records for attendance. It was a big hit. USA Swimming will again partner with the Indiana Sports Corporation to host it, and the trials in 2028 will again include 3 temporary pools built in the stadium. It's an amazing look and feel. Remember, those trials made it as a nominee at the Sports Business Awards for Event of the Year because it drew more than 285,000 fans across all sessions. It was a 60% increase over previous trials held in smaller venues. So it was unique, it was new, and it certainly worked. And so USA Swimming running it back with its trials at Lucas Oil Stadium. Let's end the Buzzcast on a couple of quick hitters. First, MLB feeling pretty good about itself. Early viewership numbers this season are healthy. Fox's numbers are up 10% from the first 2 months of last season. ESPN's Sunday Night Baseball on pace for its best season since 2017. Other good marks, TBS is up 16% for its best start since moving to Tuesday night. So these are good storylines for baseball as they are out in the market, of course, trying to find a partner for its Sunday Night Baseball wild card home run derby package. They like to go to the market with healthy numbers. So far this season, viewership is strong. Denver's NWSL franchise, we've talked about this, they have a new limited partner and co-owner. Yes, that would be Peyton Manning. He has joined the expansion club's ownership group ahead of its debut in 2026. Peyton Manning, very strong advocate of Denver. He lives in Denver, and so he's backed this team that will begin play in 26. They're going to build a temporary facility. They're eventually going to build an entire stadium district in downtown Denver. There is going to be a major investment in women's team sports infrastructure in Denver. Peyton Manning wants to be a part of it, so he signed up as a co-owner of Denver's NWSL expansion franchise. And also the Sports Bra. That is a bar dedicated to showing only women's sports. It's gotten a lot of interest and attention, and it's really out front in promoting women's sports. Now it plans to expand. Yes, the Sports Bra plans to expand to 4 cities beyond its flagship location in Portland, Oregon. It'll be in Boston, Indianapolis, Las Vegas, and St. Louis. So the Sports Bra A bar dedicated to showing women's sports is certainly on the move and expanding across the United States. And finally, in our latest episode of SBJ On Stage, SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey joins my colleague Rachel Axon for a candid interview that took place in April at the CAA World Congress of Sports. He talks about all the challenges and opportunities shaping the future of college sports and beyond. He talks about the CFP, NIL, the House settlement, and Greg Sankey's vision for the future. Again, SBJ On Stage with SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey dropped yesterday. You can listen to it wherever you listen to your podcast. It is audio and video. I encourage you to check it out. And that is your morning Buzzcast for Wednesday, June 4th. I'm Abe Madkour. Thanks for listening. Stay healthy. Be good to each other. I'll speak to you on Thursday.